Hi everybody, welcome to Insight from the Torah portion. This Parsha is Parshat Ki Tetze, and we're going to have a very interesting lesson about how to help a relative that has an anxiety, because a lot of times we try to help them, but we actually make the anxiety worse. So we'll give examples and explain what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And it's going to be a very interesting and practical class. And as usual, we're connected to the Parshat Shavua. That the parasha is talking about going out to a war, Ki Tetze lemilchama. And it's kind of a war against the anxiety because it's not easy. And it has some aspect like war. I will talk about and give example. One second. But before I start with the Torah portion, I want to talk about my friend. Her name is Dora Levy, and she also has a war. Her husband is not feeling well, he's sick, and she's like in a war to like take care of the kids and take care of him and try to make money at the same time. And they got into a really hard situation financially because his situation, he can't work, and her salary is not enough. And also there's a lot of expenses for his medicines and stuff. So therefore they went to a special place that helps them and give them advice how to deal with it financially, but they also went out on a campaign to ask for people to help them. So put link to the campaign underneath the video, and you can share the link with your friends and just donate the money. It's a big mitzvah. I know her in person, it's a good story. So to our Parsha. So as I said, Parshat Ki Tetze, it talks about going out to the war. And going out to war, it's not an easy thing. You need to have courage and faith in Hashem and in the way that you're doing. And that's why before going out to the war, the Kohen needs to come and remind them that they're going out for important purpose and Hashem is with them, and they shouldn't be afraid. It says in the Psukim, I will say it in Hebrew then translate it. קרבכם אל המלחמה, when you get close to the war, וניגש הכהן ודיבר אל העם. The Kohen comes and talks to the people, ואמר אליהם, שמע ישראל, he says to them, listen, Israel, אתם קרבים היום למלחמה על אויביכם. Today you're going to be in a war with your enemy. אל ירח לבבכם, don't be afraid. אל תראו ואל תחפזו ואל תרצו מפניהם. You shouldn't be afraid from them. You shouldn't worry from them. Don't rush. כי השם אלוקיכם, because God, ההולך עמכם, להילחם לכם עם אויביכם, להושיע אתכם. God is going with you to do the fight together with you against your enemy, and is going to help you win. And also from this parsha, we learn that not everybody is good for going out to the war, because when you go to the war, you need to be focused in the battle and not worried about other things or being afraid. And therefore, when it's a regular war, there's people that can stay home and not come, and there's a psukim that explain which people can stay. So they say, מי האיש אשר בנה בית חדש ולא חנכו? Somebody that built a new house and didn't use it yet. He can go back to his home because he will be afraid to die in the war and somebody else will take the house. מי האיש אשר נטע כרם ולא חיללו, somebody that planted trees of they say specifically trees of grapes, but maybe it's also other kinds of like planting stuff, and he didn't get the fruit yet and the money from the plants, he can go back to his home. מי האיש אשר הרס אישה, somebody that got engaged but he didn't get married yet, he also can go home because he will be afraid that somebody else will get married with his fiance. And then they also say that somebody that is afraid, מי האיש הירא ורך הלבב, somebody that is afraid to go to the war can also go back to his home, so he won't make all the other people also afraid. So also I wanted to connect it to helping somebody, a relative that has an anxiety, and I wanted to say that not the technique that I'm telling now, you need to be strong and it's not easy, and if you think you won't be able to stand by it, you shouldn't start with it because it's going to be like a war. It won't be easy, but it will bring your relative the ability to cure from his problem, but it's not going to be easy. So if you think you're not ready for it, you're not strong enough for it, you don't have enough courage, or you're not enough consistency about it, consistent, so you shouldn't start with it, you shouldn't go out to this battle. The ideas that I'm going to share with you is based on a book called in Hebrew, להפחיד את הפחד, מדריך לטיפול עצמי בחרדה. I don't know if there's translation to it in English, but what it means is to make to scare the anxiety, something like that. It's a way how to deal by yourself with an anxiety. And the book is written by Nir Isar and Ofra Miron Lichter. So some of us have a relative that suffers from an anxiety, and it's not easy to see him suffering. And in a natural way, we want to help him, to calm him down, to say that it will be okay and shouldn't worry. But the problem is that the way we do it, it actually makes the anxiety worse. It basically makes his ability to deal with it lower, and it make him more dependent on us. And we want him to be independent, not dependent by our answers or actions. Because, for example, there's people that they're afraid that they're going to die because there's like because the place is not clean enough. So they make you clean the house like 10 times in a day, and you want them to be calm. So you say, okay, fine, I will wash the house, or wash my hands, or don't touch them, or do like some stuff that in a normal way would be ridiculous, but you say, okay, fine, I just want him to be calm, just do it and whatever. But it helps the relative in the short term, but in the long term actually makes his anxiety worse. And you will see that sometimes there's people that they're afraid they're going to have a heart attack or something, and they're what they're doing is they're calling you like many times a day to make sure they're okay, and then every time they call, you say, yeah, you remember we talked to the doctor and he said it's okay, your blood test came out okay, don't worry. But the issue is that we do it in the beginning, it's okay, like once a day, twice a day, but then it actually would just get worse, and it will call you more times a day. And each time he calls, you make him relax and it goes. But then like 10 minutes later, he can get an anxiety again. It doesn't solve the problem for the long term. So in order to do this, you need to have courage, and you need to stick with your goal, because it's not going to be easy if the person was relying on you for calming down, and now you're not going to calm down anymore. So you will need to deal with it by himself, and it's going to be not easy for him, and he might yell or cry or say bad words or act in different ways, and you need to be prepared for it and ready, and understand that the way he acts, it's not him, it's the anxiety talking from him, and you shouldn't yell at him or like tell him what to do. And you also don't ignore him. The idea is to ignore the anxiety, to ignore the questions that come again and again, or ignore his request to do something again and again, like washing your hands or washing the floor or doing anything. You still talk to the person. You don't ignore the person, you ignore the anxiety or what the anxiety asks. And it will be hard for the short term, but it will actually cure him for the long term, because now instead of him being dependent on you, he will need to deal with the stuff by himself, and that's the first stage to healing himself, is actually dealing with the stuff he's afraid from and seeing that it's not so bad as he thought, and he will still live and won't die even if he won't wash his hands 10 times a day, and his entire family won't wash their hands 10 times a day. And you need to remind yourself and to remind him that it's for a good cause, and you're going to be there for him. You're not going to do the stuff that you don't believe in, but you're going to help him in the way you think is right. And it's not an easy thing you need to do, and it might take a few months or maybe more, but you're going to be consistent with it. And in this point, actually, I want to say that it's very important to take a therapist and do it together with them, and not do it by yourself, because it probably will be hard emotionally, and also for you and also for him. So it's good to have somebody that will help you and guide you through this process. I'm able to do it through the Zoom, but you can call other people if you know them. And obviously you also should offer the relative to go to a therapist. I, by the way, do it through Zoom, so I can do it from all over the world. And you can explain them that you choose now to go to a therapist, and the therapist explain you that this is the best way to help them. And even though it's not easy, it's for his good. And you're not going to be part of his anxiety anymore. And from today, if he's going to call you and ask if he's going to die from heart attack, you're not going to calm him and say that everything will be okay and don't worry. You're going to be there for him and say, we decided that we're not talking about it because we don't want to be part of the anxiety, and you just change the subject and talk about something else. And it won't be easy, but that's the way to get cured. And I hope you find this information valuable. I hope it was clear. If you have any questions, you can write in the comments below, or text me on my WhatsApp. The information is in the box underneath the video. And בעזרת השם, we shall cure everybody and bring nachat to the world. So have a great Shabbat. Bye.